Yeah. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 8 for the Hour. I'm your host, DJ 84. I am missing my lovely co-host, Rachel Bradford, today, but it's all good because I got my brothers in the building. And brothers like, man, we grew up together. It's been like 25 plus years with these guys, and they are here today and kicking with your boy on 8 for the Hour. Make some noise for them. Let's go. So I don't know if y'all want me to introduce y'all, or y'all can let the people know who you are, or I can do it for you, however y'all feeling. But I would like if y'all would, just introduce yourself, let them know.
Oh, I'm Jay Blue, you know.
My name is Kyron Worrell.
John Lee Davis. I'll go for the introduction.
Okay. Brian's going to take the intro. This is my boy, Wiz, right here. Make some noise for Wiz. Why? Yeah, so like I said, man, we've been boys since like literally youth, like 6th grade with these fellas, and I think these dudes were kicking it for elementary.
First grade.
So
Miss
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, Miss Mitchell.
Yeah. I already know what that means.
I'm tell y'all about John. First grade.
Let him know.
This dude. I'll tell y'all about both these guys.
Oh no! See, I said stick on that dude right there.
Mark Twain. Mike had a big ass head.
I still do. That's why I would have.
Went to a little bit. Nah, but this dude, they used to have the long hair. Mike's head was huge though. But
but look at this nigga there. Hey, I feel I grew into mine at least.
Now, one thing's funny about John. I remember we was in the same class, right? First grade. And John used to draw like basketball hoops all the time. And I don't know if was that 7-Up dude used to draw or something.
Man, I don't even remember,
but
bro.
He used to move all slow. Like he'd be like,
yeah, I remember he'd take his time on every little line.
I used to
OCD,
at the table like, what is this man doing? Yeah.
He said, "Ring man." No. Just like, oh man. Like I said, these are my brothers, man. This is what we do. But yeah, I just wanted them on here, man. I had to make it a little bit more special today. As you can see, the scenery is a tad bit different. On our leisure, we do like to play some poker. My boy Wiz got me on that, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it's a little bit different, because I felt this was a special episode, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I have a question for you guys, man. I've been seeing on social media that Gen Z has been trying to cancel a lot of things. Like I've seen cartoons, which I wasn't cool with because there was a lot of cartoons that I personally grew up with. So I was like, I ain't really see nothing wrong with it. I seen they were trying to cancel Eminem, which I was like, okay, but it's a different. I feel like this generation is a little bit too sensitive. That's my personal opinion. I just want to know where y'all lie on that, or how y'all felt about that, or even if y'all heard that.
Nah, I agree with you. I think they too sensitive. I remember they tried to cancel Robert Downey Jr. when he played that black role actor.
Oh yeah, Tropic Thunder. Yeah.
They tried to cancel him too, and I thought he did a great job.
Yeah,
I thought it was funny. I didn't see nothing wrong with it.
At the time, I thought it was hilarious. Like even now, I don't really trip about it. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was cool how they flipped it. The irony of him playing what was it? An Australian, black, and something like he had like 3 different characters in one.
Yeah,
that's talent to me. Like that's the way I seen it. So I wasn't
hard
tripping
to
about
pull that off, you know. But they took it as council culture, which I don't agree with. But it is what it is.
I thought it was dope. I thought it was a good movie too. Yeah. So I don't know what you think.
I would say I'm the opposite. I don't see it as any generation be too sensitive. I see it as a generation now having a voice.
Okay.
When you look at just history in general, going back to, I've never seen that movie, but I had the visualization of that movie.
Yeah,
so I'm talking about. I mean, when we look at the historical context, I mean that's blackface. No matter how you try, any one person tries to twist it.
Yeah,
it's blackface, and anyone that understands the origins of history of blackface, you would understand why it's offensive. Mm-hmm. Dating back to the early 1900s and before that with minstrel shows. So, I mean, I don't. It's blackface.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I'm
no,
saying?
I totally get what you're saying on that, but I'm saying like, why is it an issue? Like we get characters like Martin plays a white dude, Dave
Don't
Chappelle
say
plays a
nothing,
white dude,
you know?
and we find that hilarious. You know what I'm saying? But I get it, you know, blackface, whatever. I get that, you know, I understand. But I'm saying if it's gonna be one way, we gotta
Can't be double
understand.
standard.
You know, it's a
But
little.
the thing about that is it's not. There's
Put me on game, bro.
There's no historical context behind that. I mean, I'm not necessarily
I get it.
condoning it, but you have to look at the historical context
Behind
and
it.
yeah, and also, I mean, like I said a second ago, it's about people that normally wouldn't have a voice now having a voice. And I think that's one thing with social media is everyone has a voice now to express how they feel. Like with, you know, I generally I'm for being part of a marginalized group. I'm for
Yeah.
marginalized groups now having a voice. Whether I know recently they were talking about Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
perpetuating rape culture.
Yeah.
If you look at the cartoons, he is perpetuating rape culture.
Yeah.
You know, that's all there is to it. It's not about being sensitive. It's about now people having the ability and the voice to point these things out and say, okay, maybe this happened 50 years ago, but it doesn't make it any better. I mean, it's still something that has, you know, a negative connotation or is not good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying, but I don't know. I'm just that type of person. I got my sense of humor is I read things a little different. Like I try to see the positive before I'm like, oh, that's this and that. So when I look at Pepe Le Pew, I'm thinking, you know, I didn't see that then. You know what I'm saying? But as they pointed out, I'm like, okay, it could be that. But then I'm thinking, is Gen Z kind of reaching? Are they reaching
I
too
don't- I
much
don't
now?
think
I don't think that they're reaching because to me, you know, first of all, intent matters.
Yeah.
And, you know, back then when they're doing these cartoons, there was a malice intent when it came to it. I mean, I know we're making fun of people,
Yeah.
but that's an issue. And then it goes to a point where it's extreme. And ultimately, you know, that gets perpetuated throughout the generations. So it's not just you, you know, you do blackface, and back then, you know, it was acceptable.
Yeah.
But look what happens. That has a way of creating racism at a young age. You know, when little kids are watching these things, now they're thinking negative things about black folks. And, you know, I firmly believe that it's more nurture as far as racism goes. So ultimately, in my opinion, it starts to it creates this dynamic where society looks down on certain people. And it starts just like with those Dr. Seuss books. You know,
Yeah,
it
that was
seems innocent.
crazy.
At the time, it seems innocent.
Yeah.
You know, your kid's reading a book. But look what it's making you think about another culture. That's problematic. And it's like those seeds just grow into hatred. So ultimately, for me, I think it's a problem. I don't think it's really cancel culture.
Well, that's what they're saying. I'm not saying it. They're saying they're canceling these things. That's what they're saying. You know what I'm saying?
And to add on to him, I don't think it grows into hatred, depending on what their upbringing is. I think it more grows into ignorance of they don't understand this culture. They got it from a Dr. Seuss book. That's what they were taught growing up. It just turns to pure ignorance to saying, oh, well, they act like this, you know. But hatred, I think it depends on what their upbringing is.
How they were raised,
how they
just
were
raising
raised and
them,
stuff.
putting that in there.
That can add to the ignorance and hate.
Okay. So what do you think about the whole Eminem cancellation? Should he be canceled?
No.
What you think?
I'm not familiar with as far as what has happened as far as them canceling him. I can gather.
They're saying because of his lyrics. You know how he used to
Yeah.
be back in the day, his lyrics and everything.
I know for a fact, like if Eminem came out in 2021, he
he wouldn't sell.
He wouldn't sell.
He
yeah.
wouldn't sell.
So-
Definitely.
I
But-
don't know. I kind of see it not necessarily as a problem, but kind of like growth, basically. Like we're moving on.
Yeah.
And I like that better. I like growth better than canceling people. Like
Yeah.
I would like it better if they were like, okay, we're not on that no more. That's what happened then, but we're not on it no more. Then I would be like, I get you, do you?
Yeah.
But I think the whole thing canceling something is just like, nah, because some of that stuff you canceling, I grew up on, and I'm not offended like, oh, it's Pepe Le Pew. Like me and Pepe Le Pew go back, but I'm like, I get offended because it's like I used to watch it, and now you're saying something's wrong with it. Okay, you see it now. Y'all ain't on it. Move forward, grow. Like he said, boom. Me, Pepe Le Pew, come on, and it's on TV. It's staying on. I'm not cutting it off for my kids. That's just how I feel. I'm not cutting it off.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at personally.
Yeah, I mean, if you need to tell your kids like, hey, you know, this ain't right.
And that's what I'm saying. I the way I raised them, they should just see a cartoon.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not worried about my son seeing Pepe Le Pew being aggressive with this lady and be like, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm his dad. I let you know how to treat a lady.
Yeah.
I put you on game. I think that's why I get so like, come on now. We're basing our the way we raise our kids on a whole media, like that's their job. You know what I'm saying? Eminem's lyrics never affected me. I listened to him, but I never was like, I'm gonna go kill my mama, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that and the third. So I figure, and that's why I'm like, I look at him like, canceling? Like, I don't know. I like what Wiz said, just grow. Okay, that's not what we're on. I get it. I'm for it. But that's just how I feel about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying cancel anything, but
Yeah.
what if it was reversed and it was something that affected you?
As far as like what? As far as
I don't know. Let's say you were raped before or something, and let's go back to Pepe Le Pew. Would that offend you?
no.
No,
I don't think so.
you don't think so.
And
It's hard because I wasn't. But
that's
I get what you're
No,
saying.
you know,
I get what you're saying, and that's the problem that we have as Americans too. I think whatever we're not affected by, we're kind of like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. But as soon as it affects us, it's like, ooh, you know, that emotion's behind it. So I get what you're saying too, and that could be it. I'm not affected by it because I don't have no ties to it. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, definitely.
And I think that raises a bigger point as well. Particularly with Americans, we're not empathetic for one another, right?
Facts. Facts.
If it doesn't affect me, then I don't care. If it doesn't affect me, then there's nothing wrong with it. You know?
I agree.
When a good example is what's the ball player's name that said the anti-Semitic stuff?
Myers
Leonard.
Yeah. You know, that's very anti-Semitic what he said, but you know, most people are like, oh, I don't care. You know, I'm not Jewish, but
No.
why is it so hard to be empathetic? Like, yo, you know what? If I have a Jewish friend, if that offends you, I have a problem with it. You know,
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. And I had a problem with it because I told my son, I said, imagine if he would have said effing N-word. It's the same thing. I would have a problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
Video game or not, he
Yep.
shouldn't have said what he said.
You're right.
He has it's a video game. He's a NBA player. His fan base is probably what, like teenagers?
Yeah.
That hear that and carry that on. Oh, well, Myers Leonard said it.
Yeah,
It must be cool to
I don't
say
see
it.
nothing wrong with it.
And all the comments I read were the Call of Duty fans were like, oh, you couldn't handle my lobby then because we know how they talk.
And it's normalized.
yeah.
We hear it. N-words dropped everywhere, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. But my point is, that's why I mute it all. I don't, when I play the game, I don't listen
Don't
to
worry
nobody.
about it,
I don't want to hear it because the simple fact that it is used a lot.
Yeah.
And I tell my son, if you don't want to hear it, get rid of it. That way, because I can't go over there and just sock a dude up for saying the N-word. What's the point?
And
I don't know where he is.
And they know that.
Yeah,
They
and
take
they
advantage
know
of it.
exactly. They know you can't touch him. Just block it out.
Right.
Don't pay attention to it. But yeah, he shouldn't have said it. At the end of the day,
right? And it's become that type of language has become so normalized now that people, it's not a big deal now. You know,
Yeah.
No, it's a big
normalized.
deal.
Yeah, it's still a big deal, but people
Obviously,
wanna perceive it.
to some, it's not because what possessed? I mean, wasn't it that was his live stream, was it not?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, what was he thinking? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your live stream. It's kind of like, why?
But then that's where I go back to what I was saying, you know, about the cartoons and how it just gets perpetuated throughout time and generations. You know, when it becomes normal, that's a problem, and everyone forgets. Everyone has influence on each other one way or another, regardless of who you are. And don't get me wrong, when you have a bigger platform, then that influence, it gets spread. It's greater.
Yeah.
So it matters what people say and what people do. It's like, just because, how you said about Eminem,
Yeah.
you know, with his lyrics, it didn't make you personally do anything.
Yeah.
But it probably did for some kids.
Yeah.
You know, that influence is strong on some
it
people.
made them feel black. I'll tell you that. It made a lot of white people feel like they was from the hood. That's what it did.
But music, to take a little turn here, music does that to a lot of people. Like
at the end of the day, it's entertainment. Pepe Le Pew, Eminem, it's entertainment. People are gonna separate
but like
that from reality.
like Wiz said, like some people it's not. You know, some people don't see it as entertainment.
That's the ones that got an issue.
I
You can't see a movie or something and be like,
no,
hey, let me go out here.
I agree with you. I'm
it's
just
all
saying
entertainment, music, cartoons, movies. If someone's that influenced, they got the issue. That's the way I feel.
I agree with you to a certain extent. I'm saying like I get what Wiz is saying about like some people may see it different. I mean, our minds were strong enough to get the difference between reality and entertainment. Some people may have a mental issue and don't understand, you know.
Yeah, the one that Lee was talking about
difference.
that said ones that go through it, they might have a certain trouble adjusting to it.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm talking to ones that just see it, ain't got no ties to it, see it, and try to go and react stuff.
And redo
That's
it.
an issue.
I don't know.
You know?
I see it a little different because I'll even take myself as an example where when I look back, so y'all know, Laker fan.
Lakers fan. Yeah, make some noise for the Lakers. I ain't hating on that.
But so something simple but still impactful, like I love Kobe, you know, growing up. And when we used to play ball, I used to try to be like Kobe.
Definitely.
You know, when I look back, a lot of those small things influence me. And it's
But
like,
see-
okay. Not that it's a big deal and it's a different example, but what I'm saying is, yes, it was entertainment and it's a basketball game, but like Kyron reminded me the other day that we'll be, you know, at the movies or, you know, store, whatever, and I'm just acting like I'm dribbling and shooting.
Yeah.
Just cause. And it was like, I had a strong influence on me.
Yeah. But it's
I think it's
positive influence though. Like that makes sense. Did you ever take in a negative? Did you feel you ever took in a negative influence and you're like, okay, no, that's not me? Or have you always taken in a positive type influence?
Now, I'm pretty sure I've taken in negative influence.
You think so?
Now, as I've gotten older and I've reflected and I've learned, like I know who to cut out of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I know who to avoid.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I've never been the type to just go follow the crowd.
Yeah.
But-
That's facts.
In hindsight, I can probably think of a moment or two where it's like, what was I thinking? Why did I do that? That was stupid. That was a mistake. And not that, at the end of the day, it was my decision and the mistakes that I made for me.
Yeah.
It's on me. But I can't pretend I wasn't influenced at some point in some way. I don't know for sure.
But would that be like in an entertainment standpoint? You know what I'm saying? Like, have you heard a song or have you seen a movie and you're like, ooh, I'm gonna go do that or try that, or you know what I'm saying? I get the people, yeah, I get that. Especially being young, we make dumber decisions when we're young and we're out there, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying entertainment based. Like,
To John's point, not
Most of my influence, negative or positive, came from family. Or people that
Yeah.
I'm around every day.
seeing
Students, yeah,
Yeah.
just people I'm around every day.
What about you, Kyle Weezy?
I think influence is subconscious. I mean, I know there's instances where we maybe consciously maybe imitate or are influenced by someone saying, you know, I want to be like that person.
Yeah.
Go to bed. But I think most influence is subconscious. I mean, prime example is commercials. You may see a commercial,
Yeah.
you know, every day for like Burger King commercial every day for 2 weeks, and then you go get Burger King.
Burger
you know?
King eventually, yeah.
Yeah. So I think no matter how much we try to think that, you know, we're consciously doing things based on our own decisions,
It's really
we are subconsciously
Man.
influenced by pretty much everything.
That is deep, bro. I gotta make some noise for that because I 100% agree with that. Because I don't know. While you were saying that, I was thinking, and I'm like, dang, that's making a lot of sense. I don't know if I have to reflect and see if I made decisions based on what I wanted to do, or was there a self-conscious influence that I didn't cling to? Because it's hard, because I remember when me and Blue were growing up, you know, we were in the music, rapping, you know. Did that come from fam? Did that come from hearing Bone Thugs and Harmony? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. Did we make that like, hey, we just want to be rappers? Because, you know, now that I'm thinking, I'm like, well, what was the reason that we wanted to do it. Me personally,
But
I
to
know
me, that's a positive influence.
it
wasn't a
is.
negative.
It is. But I'm saying positive or negative. Was it that self-conscious decision, or was it like
Subconscious.
subconscious decision, or was it based on what we wanted to do? You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of it still has a lot to do with your upbringing, because like I've known you guys forever.
Yeah,
and
facts.
Your entire family's very musical.
That's true.
Including your mom.
Yeah.
You know, so that could be a positive influence from her.
I
But
agree.
you guys put a twist on it because you were into hip hop.
Hip hop, yeah.
That's true too. And like us from down to cousins, down like everybody was into music. So I mean
Deborah,
that could be it.
all
I think he just got me thinking because it made a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, are we doing this just cause, or are we doing it from that influence? So I don't know. That's a good point.
And I think that's also important, though, is to take a step back and reflect. You know, regardless
Yeah.
of what happened, you reflect and just reconsider. Okay, why did I do this?
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't. I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is reflect on it. Just understand why,
Yeah.
and then that way, moving forward, you can make a better decision next time.
I agree. Now, since we're on influences, growing up, black males, like what were your guys' influences growing up? Like, as far as like, I know you said Kobe, you know what I'm saying? A positive influence that you guys looked up to or wanted to be like, or you know, to cling to, you know what I'm saying? Like, who was that
Are you
person?
saying like celebrities, entertainment?
Or just in general.
Anything.
I mean, let's go entertainment first. I want to hear entertainment or anybody on that level, celebrity level, and then
That was an influence?
yeah. Or did you have any? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you're a big fan of Common. Was that like somebody? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I would say in terms of not like on my life, just like
Yeah.
creatively, you know, like
Creatively
you know, I used to do
influenced?
spoken
Okay.
word and you know we used to rap a little.
Yep.
He was an influence there, but
Yeah.
not like on my life, like nigga, I'm Common, you know.
Like Common Junior right here, boy. Said the powers of Common flowing through me. No. What about you, Blue man?
Like he said, nothing really on my life. But if you're gonna say Common Jr., there was a point I thought it was Allen Iverson Jr., you know?
Hey,
Yep.
there you go. And
Rock the
that's
braids
hey,
and
Sleep.
Philly was my team. So.
yeah, that makes sense, man. Make some
Yeah.
noise for that, man. That's good stuff.
Not entertainment wise, I would say my Uncle Rob.
Word.
Yeah.
I see that a lot. You
Yeah.
guys are Leos and everything, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. Y'all act the same, man. Kobe.
There's probably a few, but mainly Kobe.
Kobe.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I had. I can't even say I
John
really
Starks.
had one. That was
Marcus
my boy.
Houston. No?
Spreewell.
That was my boy. No, he made me go choke nobody. But my grandpa, I would.
Yeah,
Number one, make
back
some
to my
noise.
grandpa.
Make some noise for Grandpa, bro.
Well,
Yeah.
to add
Good
on
man.
to that, because you know, both me and John growing up without our fathers,
Yeah.
I didn't even know we didn't have a dad.
Yeah.
It took like literally years for me to realize that because of our grandpa, and then our uncles.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, for us, at least for me, I'm not going to speak for you, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even think twice
Didn't
about
even
it.
think about it.
Like I just did not think twice about it because I had those male role models in my life every
dope.
single day.
That's dope.
And so, you know, that's the real answer to the question.
That's the man right there. Yeah, that's the biggest influence probably in your lifetime, huh? Yeah, like that's the man. Yeah, you agree? You
No, I agree, but I also gotta, you know, I'm thankful for the positive women in my life.
definitely make some
Yeah.
positive, strong black women, man.
Yeah,
Like,
do a lot.
yes, I agree, 100% with both of you guys. But I think with me, moms was everything. Father, mom, you know, my Uncle Rob was there too. I gotta give him some love on that. Charlie was there, my mom's
Charlie,
boyfriend.
yeah.
He's been pretty much dad since day one. So, you know, we had that. I want to say we had that role model there, but to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? I can't lie. I can't sit here and be like I was good, but I was okay. You know what I'm saying? And it really didn't set on me until honestly, it didn't bother me until I had my own son. Then I started talking to him, and he's like, did you do this, Dad, when you were did it? And I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why that absent father was like, well, I didn't have my dad to take me out, and you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, and I think that's why I enjoy the things I do with him, because I didn't have it. So I was okay, but like you said, reflect. I really didn't reflect on it until I was starting to do all this stuff with him, and then I was like, dang, man, like I really missed out on a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I am. But definitely, I feel you on that. And Charlie and Uncle Robert, they were definitely male influences, positive influence. Like Lee said, the strong black woman. You know that's moms and everybody. Auntie Barbara, all of them. Shout out to them, Grandma and everybody. So yeah, we've been surrounded by some good people, man. But I don't know if y'all.
I would say for me, as far as personally, like my life, my family, I didn't really have that male influence. I'd say the closest I had was my uncle Roy. He passed away in 2005.
Rest in peace.
I grew up also without my father. I mean, he was in my life, but he didn't raise me by any means. I mean, that's a whole another story. But I mean, he would, send money, maybe a couple $100 for birthdays and Christmas, that type of thing. But he'd go see him once in a while, but he wouldn't. I mean, my parents got divorced. I was like 1 maybe. And then he left, like he just kind of abandoned us, me and my sister, and went off, got married, raised somebody else's kids. I remember I was like, shit, I don't know, 7, 8, 6, something. Like one of the first times I spent the night at their house, my dad's house and his wife and my stepbrothers, and they were calling him Dad. To me that was weird. Like,
I remember you telling me this story. Yeah,
I was like, they're calling him Dad, and it's like I thought, I'm a kid, so I can't rationalize.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh. I thought he was my dad, but he's their dad, so I can't call him Dad.
Yeah.
And so I started calling him Frank. That was his name.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Hey, Frank." He's like, "What'd you call me?" He's like, "No, I'm Dad." But I didn't know.
Yeah.
It was just a
it confused you. Yeah. As a kid, you were like, "Wait, what? Okay, well, he's your dad. I'm gonna call him Frank." Yeah. I get you.
So like, and I think one thing that I've been doing with the past few years is like, certain things happen when you're a kid, and then you can become an adult. And you'll be doing something, you realize like, hey, that wasn't right, or you start to unpack things from your past that you can rationalize or think or
like grasp
then, but now you're like, damn, that's messed up. So the past few years I've been doing that, particularly with my dad. That's why I always say, be mindful of how you treat children, because children become adults one day, and children will always remember how you treat them.
And they will remember. I agree,
they will remember
100%.
How you treated them.
100%.
So. Like I'm not put all my business out, but like my dad now, I mean, there's a lot of guilt on his part for missing out. Like I'll call him to see how he's doing, and it's like, oh, he'll go off on this like it's a therapy session. Like I'm trying to see how you doing, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of guilt.
A lot of going on with him. Yeah.
I grew up, I became a man without him.
Yeah.
He didn't tie me how to show me how to tie a tie.
So
he didn't buy me school clothes. He didn't do none of that shit.
So
my mom did.
He's having a hard time now that you're a grown man and giving him that call.
Right.
I'm not speaking for him or you. I'm just saying what I got out of it. Like, he's having a hard time to have that conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're calling him and saying what's going on, Dad, and he's like, yeah, I'm just about to go here, and remember when we went there? Remember, there's really no conversation that he can have with you as a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Our son, make sure you do this or that and the third.
And it's like, because when he got married, whatever, like they had money, like they grew up with money. You know what I'm saying? They used to go on vacations, cruises, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? My sister and I, we didn't get to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? And so I think now there's guilt because he realizes like now, like, damn, my son's an adult. He's doing his own thing. He's working on his master's. He's a professional.
Yeah.
All this and this and that, and it's like,
he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
He did it without him, and he's like, damn, okay, yeah. But hey, man, that's dope, and I think we need that. We definitely need. I'm not saying you don't need that male influence or that male in your life, but man, look what you did. You're very successful, and like you said, all he has to do is feel guilty about that. Like, what could I have done to help him? You know what I'm saying? I think that definitely runs through his mind. But man, successful black man, married everything. You can't get mad at that,
boy. And for the record, like my stepbrothers, like those, I don't even see them as my stepbrothers. Those are my brothers because we all around the same age. So we all practically grew up, with each other in that sense. So I mean, that's one thing. Good, probably the only good thing that came from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it teaches you like life ain't life ain't fair sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And all you step parents out there too, don't treat your stepkids wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because your stepkids become adults also.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying?
Thanks. I hear you,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Blue, positive males.
Positive role model?
Yeah.
I already said Uncle Rob,
Oh,
Charlie.
and AI. Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
You
cuz.
did. I'm going the wrong way. I think Karen's story got me off. Not that it was a bad story. I'm just saying it got me off. It got me off track. He said, "Nigga, I already said this boy tripping." He
it
said,
a couple ways.
"Blue." The way you looked at me, Blue. Like, what's he gonna say?
I didn't know if you had
know the
another
words,
question or something.
Like, what's he gonna say? My bad, bro. But yeah. So since we got on to, Brian had mentioned mothers. So, I think we all were raised by single women, like we already mentioned. So I had a go-to for that. But elaborate a little bit more on what that was like. You know what I'm saying? Like the things you did, the things you didn't do, the things you wish you did, the things, you know what I'm saying? Like the roles they played in your life. You get me?
I do. For me, like I said, I didn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Because, I had our grandma and so first of all, we don't call her grandma. We call her mama.
Mom. Yeah, I know that.
And,
Yep.
we call our granddad daddy.
Yep.
So, again, growing up, I didn't know the difference. It was mama and daddy. Now, I knew my mom was my mom, but we just weren't quite raised that way.
Yeah.
So, growing up, we grew up in a good household, a strong household, strong women, strong men, and it was just, I wouldn't change it for anything. Like I have no issues, no regrets.
Nothing. That's good,
I mean,
man.
I miss Mama.
Definitely.
That's the thing.
Definitely. Rest in peace. Yeah, definitely.
The biggest thing is I wish, she could have met Crystal. I wish she could have, met my kids.
Yeah. I like to think that she's looking down and she's seeing it and she's proud of you and what you accomplished and your family and all that, man. Definitely. So yeah, I know you wish she was here in the physical, but I know she's here spiritually. She's watching and she's proud of you, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, Lee, you same with you. Same. I know y'all grew up in the same household, but you could have a different
I
different
do have
perspective.
a different one too.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate everything done by the women in my family,
Definitely.
the men, but there's certain things like that I didn't experience that I think a little boy should experience. Like like my grandfather, he's older. He didn't take us fishing, something like that. And I didn't even know it was an issue until I was in the military and I was in Alaska, and I went fishing with a couple buddies,
Yeah.
and Tiara was there. She caught a fish. And, she was 6 or 7 years old, and she's wheeling it in.
Yeah.
And she's trying to give it to me, like, grab it. And I'm like, you grab it. I didn't even know I was scared of fish.
That's my boy.
But that's something I don't think I should have been scared of.
Yeah,
I
I
grew
feel
up
you.
doing that. But it was new to me, seeing that fish
yeah.
flopping around. I didn't want to grab it. So,
Yeah.
I feel I got cheated out of that experience, for that. That's something a father should have showed.
Definitely.
his son.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I see.
I feel you, and I agree. I think same kind of situation with me. It's kind of like I threw myself in positions where I had to learn at that moment. I think when I first went fishing, I learned, and I didn't let nobody know. Like I'd never been fishing, so I was like kind of looking and kind of remembering like things I've seen on like TV or seen somebody do, and I would do it, and I got away with it. But in my head, I was like, I've never been fishing, but I made it work, and I taught myself that. And I think Blue can relate. Like growing up, man, we taught ourselves a lot.
Yeah.
I feel
well, fishing. Dad did take us fishing.
No.
Yeah.
If he did, I wasn't there.
You were there. You was there.
Said he didn't take your ass fishing.
Nah, you was there. You was probably too little, but
maybe I was
there.
too young. But shit, one time in the past.
Nah,
don't even get me started. don't even get me started, bro. Say you don't get a pass for one time taking him fishing when he's like 5 and ain't gonna remember nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, I'm just saying we was there.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Well, I remember teaching myself. If that's the case, then I was way too young and I didn't remember none of it. So it's still not a pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I remember teaching myself a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember anyone putting a basketball in my hand, and it was just kind of like you just play because your friends is playing. Then you get interested. Then you want to learn more. Then you want to get better. Then you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like put the ball in your hand or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. You agree? Yeah. I don't know. Well, I'm just saying. But I know all our families are pretty multicultured out. You know what I'm saying? I think we got every single race in our family. And I think that's why it's hard for me to get with what's going on in the world, because I don't want to say I never seen race, because I don't like that. I see race, but I never judged anyone by their race. You know what I'm saying? I judge people by their character, how they treat me, how you approach me, how are you talking to me. Respect. You know what I'm saying? That's what I based on. But I'm saying that because I know our families are like in a gumbo, of different races. And growing up, I never had an issue of dating outside my race. Now I know it could be different for you guys. I don't know how it was, but I mean, we grew up together, but I don't know if you think it was different perspective for you, or
I don't think so.
So you had no issues with that?
No. If I'm attracted to you, I'm attracted to you. I don't care what race, whatever you are.
Yeah. It never mattered to me growing up anyway. I think I had Rachel, this was in the past. I think I want to say I've dated almost every race there was. I want to say. I don't know. Probably not every race, but the solid ones that people mention here and there, the core color cards. I think I knocked those ones out, and I don't mean like knock those ones out like in a physical way. I meant I knocked those. I dated them, and I never seen race, man. I don't know about you guys, but that's my take on it, man. How was it?
It's interesting because. Like we, or at least a few of us, have done that ancestry DNA.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And, I know historically, it doesn't matter the generation, doesn't matter the continent. There's always racial or have been racial issues.
Thanks.
But look at your DNA.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. So, at some point, hundreds of people decided it's okay to go, date another race, marry another race. And that's how I ended up where I am now.
I'll have to push back on that. If you look at our history.
Oh, here we go. Let's go. Let's go, Kyrie.
When you look at our history of enslaved people, our ancestors most of the time did not decide to sleep with white folks. It was most of the time it was
rape.
It was forced upon them.
Yeah.
I know that's the case. And if you're from the most. I'd say 90+% of Black Americans have origins in the South, right? So when you kind of look at that, when you look at the history, that was something that's very prevalent. Maybe later on, post slavery, post Reconstruction, when our people had a choice, yes, but prior to that, we didn't have a choice most of the time. So when Black Americans look at their DNA and they see whatever percent European, that was probably rape. Yes. Because if you're in the Deep South, especially if you're in the Deep South in 1840, interracial couples wasn't something you could walk down the street.
Yeah, it wasn't popping. Yeah.
Right.
Let me say this, because Kyron's right, and I need to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But with that said, I had a fair amount that wasn't even European. So it was just kind of cool.
To see, yeah.
But to your point, Kyron, acknowledge it and 100% right.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I'm saying for you guys to date outside your race growing up, like, did your moms, I don't want to put nobody on blast or nothing, but did you ever get a talk about it, or did anyone frown upon it, or did you feel like anyone had an issue with it or anything like that? Like,
I would say, so y'all know me, I'm black as hell. I'm blackity black.
ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's go.
So I never really
My brother.
dated outside of my race. Not that there's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong
There's
with it, he
absolutely
says.
nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, it's 2021. Love who you love. Be with who you want to be with.
Yes.
As for me and my house, we serve the Lord. But for me, I knew my wife would be black.
Okay.
That just, and so to me, like, I feel like sometimes I try to be very in tune with like the universe, like ancestry. Like I literally feel like the blood and the spirit of my ancestors runs through me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That kind of has tailed off into things I'm involved with now with African American history. But to me, there was nothing more. I always knew like my wife would be black.
Yeah.
I was always attracted to black women before anything else. So that's just me though. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, as for my mom didn't care. I mean, my one of my brother's wife is white. I mean,
Yeah.
that's my sister.
Yeah.
What I'm saying? So
I
it's
feel
never
you.
been an issue as far as the family thing. But I want to just backtrack real quick
Yeah,
to
yeah.
you talking about moms,
Yeah.
know, and how we all grew up in single
Yes, sir.
parent households. My mom did the best she could, you know what I'm saying, with what she was given, and I'll always love her for that. I mean, I could count maybe 3 times I've ever seen my mom cry, in front of me at least.
Yeah.
I'm sure when things got tough, she probably cried to herself, a lot, But I remember just growing up, I was the youngest of my mom's kids. I was the youngest of 3 by a large margin. So I basically had to fend for myself most of the time. Like getting out of school, I'd have to walk home from school by myself.
Yeah.
Like a mile or so. This is like 2nd grade, so I'm like 7, 8 years old. Had to walk home from school by myself, get myself something to eat. I was what they call a latchkey kid, you know what I'm saying? And so
What they call what?
it's a latchkey kid. Kids that have to, when school lets out, they have to fend for themselves pretty much. So you have to get home by yourself. When you're home, you have to make meals, because your parent is working.
They're not
what I'm
there.
saying?
Yeah.
So I just recall like just running the streets, as a kid,
Doing what I wanted to.
and it wasn't. I wasn't scared. Like I would be miles. I'm getting to my point real quick, just to bear with me. I'd be miles away from home, like 8 years old, miles away from my house at like 4:00 on a Wednesday, right? My mom is at work, and this goes back to what I was saying about how you don't realize things until you're older. I am pretty damn sure every day when I was getting out of school as a little kid, walking home by myself, 7, 8 years old, my mom was at work just hoping I was okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because back then, when no cell phones, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she's probably at work just like, boy,
I hope he made it.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, and to me, I'm a kid. I don't know the difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I come home, eat, go to my friend's house, go. There's sometimes like I think back now, like that shit was dangerous as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we was running through alleys and shit,
Hey,
and
me and Rachel had that conversation a lot because I always tell her about how we used to be up and down Pennsylvania walking and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, bro, these kids don't know because I'm like, I look and I'm like, I'm telling myself, like MJ will never do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, we were doing that. That's what's so crazy.
Yeah.
I look back and I pass through the neighborhood and I'm like, I'm telling them like, man, me and your uncle and your cousins, man, we used to be all up and down this block and walking in the middle of the night going.
We had to run a couple times.
Yeah, yeah, we did. Make some noise for that. We did have to run a few times, but we all right. We made it out. But I'm just saying, man, it's crazy because we were doing that and no one seen anything wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not faulting nobody, but I'm just saying it's crazy, man. But I don't know. Do y'all think times are getting better or worse in that sense? Worse. So kids ain't walking down the street like they used to and doing that like we used to.
I don't know, man. I think every generation has its problems. Every era has its problems. Right now, sometimes I think because of social media in particular, that it feels like it's greater. And I'm thinking sometimes maybe we're just seeing it more. Maybe people are just aware of it more.
That's a good point. And social media, like you said, you see a lot more out there in the world because of social media. Yeah.
I mean, when you look back at some of the problems folks had, and I don't know. I don't see it getting worse. I just see everyone looks back and thinks it was better, and I'm not convinced it was
better when we were coming up, or better like way.
Every generation, you hear everybody talk about how things were back.
Oh, you talking about like when you become that old head and you like back in my day.
Yeah,
we used to just did that.
But you felt safe back in your day.
I did. No, because I think what he's trying to say, because I would just say you feel a little bit safer because that's what you know. That's you're familiar with that environment. You're familiar with your surroundings, what's going on. Like when we were coming up, it was like well, Pennsylvania and all that, man, it was gangs. You know, it was drugs, it was this, but we knew that. We was out there on the street walking, but I felt like, hey, as long as I don't bother them, they don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm doing what I got to do, I'm a be all right. That was my mentality, but I think it was just being brought up and not seeing nothing better. So if you don't know anything better, you're going to be like, this is how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my environment. This is how I'm growing up. I could deal with that. That's how I see it.
I could see that, but I could also see that you probably wouldn't do it now. Is it because you're not in that environment anymore?
I wouldn't let my son do it. I'm still comfortable. Like
you would still just go hang out at night and walk up and down Pennsylvania.
Well, I had no reason to now because you know.
but how many times? Like what you just said. You said if I don't bother them, they won't bother me.
Yeah.
How many times you didn't bother them, but they
bother you?
Anyway.
It happens. You know? But I was always raised to to keep my guard up, and you know what I'm saying. That's the environment that's the way we were raised. Like if you go here, I don't want to say. I guess I will. I expect the unexpected. Yeah. Expect something to pop off. That was my mentality.
I don't even go into a movie theater without knowing where the exits are.
Exactly.
I tell Marciano where the exits.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You know, even in our clubbing days when we was out downtown, we knew something was gonna pop off. Yeah. We knew someone. It never failed. Every night, somebody fight, somebody shoot. Somebody fight, somebody shoot. So you still stand out there and you're still chilling, but you just wait. As soon as it happens, all right, let's get up out of here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of put your mind is set like, I'm just waiting for it to happen. When it does, I know what to do. I think now MJ, he's never been around anything, and him not knowing it's more of a danger I feel for him because I haven't put him in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know if it's because he's not old enough yet, so I don't really have to. You know, he's not a teen. He's not out there with his friends. Oh, I'll be back, Dad. You know, he's here. I know where he is. I know eventually we'll probably have to have that talk and be like, son, you know, there's certain people you can't fuck with. You know, there's certain people you gotta, you know, oh no, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? But he's young now, so I know where he's at. But I don't know.
It's scary when they get, you know, like Javon's almost a teenager.
Almost a teen, yeah.
So it's scary.
Yeah.
See, but then it's almost like ignorance is bliss. You know, when you're that kid and you're that teenager and you're just trying to get out and do whatever it is you're trying to do, you don't think of the danger necessarily. Exactly. But you know, as parents, we're sitting there thinking, nah, we
know
protect these kids. But to your question, is it more dangerous? Is it getting worse? I'm just not convinced that it's getting worse. I think, you know, we're aware of what's happening. We know there's dangers out there, but there's always been dangers out there.
There's always been. You're right. You said it's getting worse to you?
I think so. Like, statistically, I think it's worse. Like even the crime rate, when you look that up, it's always getting worse every year.
Yeah.
You know, it's higher and higher. So to me, it just proves that it's getting worse. I mean, I ain't out there. I don't know. But
and that's what I'm saying. We're not out there like we used to be. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole different schedule, mentality, priorities, all that. You know, when you're young and you really ain't got nothing to do, you find something to do, and it's probably meet me here, or let's go here, or let's walk here, or let's be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's different. But now we're so caught up in being fathers and family members and family head of the family and all that stuff. So it's like, do we really have time? Careers, all that. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, like I said, I can't really speak on it because MJ's at an age where he's not really getting out there like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I'm gonna act when that day comes where he's like, Dad, I'm gonna go chill with chill with such and such, and I don't like him, and I'm like, nah, I don't know, you ain't going, you know, and he rebels and be like, Dad, you don't know what, you know, I don't know what that's like, you know. Right now, like I said, I know where he's at, and I'm cool with that. I just gotta face that when it happens, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know, man, but
I said it's scary.
well, Javon's a teen, so he's on that. He's about to hit you up and be like, Dad, I'm about to go with.
I ain't worried about that. Martiana be right there behind him. You already know.
She's one of them.
Yeah.
That's what Rachel's like that too. She already talking about we gonna go to college where MJ go to college. I'm like, let that boy go live and go to college, man. I ain't trying to follow that boy. You know,
Hey, she can be like that with Javon. I don't be like that with Trey, so it's all good.
poor Trey.
Hey.
Poor little tink tink. Nah. Nah, man. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, man. So I know I don't want to get too deep with y'all, but I do have a question. I know Kyron, you could probably speak on this, but with, like we said, things are getting worse. Well, some of us believe they're getting worse. Some of us think, you know, we're all right. But I do think things are getting worse with police and police brutality and all that. So I wanted to hear what y'all thought about it personally.
I don't think things are getting worse. Things are being recorded now.
Facts.
That's what it is.
Things are being caught.
Yeah, things are being recorded now.
But is that helping?
I mean, it's shedding light, but okay.
nothing's been done about it.
I don't have time to say this, but historically, you look at the origins. When you look at the origins of police, the police were literally derived as slave patrols for our enslaved people. You know, so if a black person was walking down whatever street in the Deep South, you had to have the papers showing where you're going. Like, I'm going such a house to get cotton, whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's no matter how you twist it, turn it, whatever. That's
same story.
Yes, that's what it's derived from, right? When you look at lost my train of thought. I believe the 13th Amendment, you know, when slavery was abolished, I don't know verbatim, but the amendment to abolish slavery, but, you know, we can enslave you for pretty much saying people that are in prison can be treated as slaves, right? Think about it for a second. Why would they put that language in the amendment to abolish slavery? Because in that amendment to abolish slavery, they're talking about black people. Does that make sense? But right after that, they're saying, however, you can be treated as a slave. We can enslave you for, you know, if you're in prison, whatever, right? So that's one thing people need to think about. Yeah, that was written, even though slavery was abolished, they wanted to figure out a way to enslave us and do the prison system. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the police thing, like I said, it's not getting worse. It's being recorded now. That's the bottom line. People have cameras now. A lot of agencies are being required to wear body cams, etc. Yeah, and it's funny to me that people have such a hard time with people wanting police to be held accountable. Yeah, that's not what it boils down to. Yeah, people don't want police. You know, people of that have certain beliefs don't want police to be held accountable. That's all it is. That's why there's such a controversy around it. Well, all we're asking is hold police accountable because we're being killed at disproportionate rate, right? And we've all had experience with police.
Definitely.
We were together.
Being around when it happens. We went. Yeah.
We've all had that direct experience with police.
Definitely.
My thing is, like you said, accountability.
Yeah.
The whole thing is, why aren't they forced to wear lapel cameras? Yeah. They're not. Yeah. They have a choice to put their camera on or not. And the reason why that is because they don't want the world to see how they act day to day.
Yeah.
They want to be able to do what, oh, well, I'm an officer. I got to enforce my power without the world seeing how I enact that power.
Yeah.
You know, but if there was a law saying you must have your lapel camera on every time, every police department, I think we'll see a change in behavior. But behind closed doors, we all know what really goes down.
Do you think the cameras are helping though? In that sense, like, do you think it makes a difference? Because we're still having a hard time.
If you know you're being recorded, some things change. Something that George Floyd situation, that's different. He was just ignorant and just didn't give a damn. You know, so he saw him being recorded. He just didn't care at the time. I bet he cares now though.
Yeah.
But if you're being recorded, you do tend to act different. If you know, like when I was a security guard and they put the cameras in there for a reason, they said, hey, you're being recorded. Everybody's that did some dirt, their whole attitude changed. We're being recorded, acted straight then, you know.
But I agree. Because even I hit up when all that went down, I had reached out to Kyron because I know he's been on this since day one, like forever. So I reached out to him and I'm hitting him up. I'm like, bro, this is getting out of hand, bro. I said, what do I need? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I asked him like what dash cam he has, what, you know, I forgot and then we had a long conversation about the whole George Floyd situation, you know, and I was asking him like, you know, what could I do to protect myself out here? And he gave me the 401. I roll with a dash cam. You know what I'm saying? Because there's too many incidents where I remember when I think I was like 20 or something, and you were working security, and I had borrowed your ride. Oh no, it wasn't your ride. It was mom's ride. It had like crazy tint, and I think I was going to your job though, and I'm riding. I get pulled over. Cop pulls me over, but he pulls me over as I'm in an intersection. So I passed the intersection.
I remember you told me that.
I passed the intersection, and then the next part is a freeway on ramp. Mm-hmm. So I skipped the on ramp because I'm not gonna pull over while, you know, it's an on ramp. Yeah. So I skipped that and I pull into the next little section next to a gas station where I'm, you know, it's safe for both of us. And that's what I was thinking. Like, okay. So I pull over there and he hops out and he's like, why didn't you stop sooner? And I'm like, well, there was an intersection and then after that there was the on ramp. So I was like, I just wanted to pull over here, you know, safe. Next time, stop sooner because we might think you had drugs to hide. You think someone other than me being black would have heard that? Nah. It would have been like, thanks for stopping and making it safe for both of us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that's the first thing he told me. So I'm like, all right, you know, I'm not tripping. Second thing, and I wish I can go back and do this differently, but maybe I don't because I probably wouldn't be here. But he asked me to step out the car. And then I've nothing to hide. I was like, all right. I did. I remember I had a roll of film in my pocket, because I was going to develop some pictures in my pocket. And he searched the car. He tells me empty my pockets. I put everything on the top of the car, roll of film there. You think he looked at that roll of film and opened it? Nah, he didn't. But if you were really trying to find drugs, wouldn't you be like, there's probably drugs in a random roll of film in your pocket?
Yeah. Did it have the cap and everything on it?
It had the cap and everything on it. Yeah. No, it was not open. It was a closed roll of film. I had that. Boom, put it all in my pocket. Boom. Oh, he looks inside there. Next time, stop sooner. Bloom, bloom, bloom. Lets me go. Never told me why I got stopped. Never told me why I was pulled over. Never told me anything. But it was my lack of knowledge of what he could and couldn't do, you know, and me being like, man, I ain't got nothing to hide, you know, do what you got to do. I'm about to be out of here. Attitude, you know, but I wish I can go back and say something like, okay, what's the reason? You know what I'm saying? He didn't mention the tent. He didn't mention anything. So I'm like, you know, what was that about? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's just one experience. And that's why I look at people. That's why I get so, I don't want to say emotional, but I get a little, not offended either. Those are bad words.
I get pissed.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. All right. We can say that. I get a little pissed off when I see people talk about don't break the law. Why was he breaking the law? He shouldn't have broke the law. He would have been alive. Boom, boom. I've never done anything to even get, approached by an officer. You don't have. That's what people got to understand. You don't have to be breaking the law,
right,
to be encountered by a police officer. Sometimes you just got to be black. I'm just keeping it 100.
That just happened. I don't know if y'all saw a story about Plano, Texas police.
No, put me on game. I didn't see that. I don't think I seen that.
18-year-old kid. You know how Texas just had that big old snowstorm.
Oh,
weeks ago?
the big kid walking home.
Yeah, he was walking home.
I saw that one.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but that's the one I called mom about because Marciana was crying, literally.
Yeah.
Crying
I do know.
She reminded the kid reminded her of Cody.
Yeah,
and
I remember.
And I was like, it was sad.
Yeah, the kid was walking home from work, long day at work, working at Walmart. In the snow, police. I guess they got a call about a welfare check. They rolled up on the kid like, "Yo, you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm walking home. My house right there." And like, "Oh, he's talk to us." He's not obligated. He's not.
It should have been deaded right there.
There's no probable cause or reasonable suspicion.
Yeah,
he should have been left alone. They didn't like his attitude. Not liking somebody's attitude is not. It's not illegal. You know? And they arrested him. Later, I guess the next day or whatever, or days later, the charges were dropped. Whatever, but still, like, had that been some white dude, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He minded his business, walking home in the snow.
Agreed.
He's a kid, probably don't have a car.
A young kid, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, and he was walking in the street because the street, the snow's smashed down. The sidewalk had all fresh snow on it. So that's why he was in the street, and that's somebody told on him, and that's the reason.
That's how it starts, man.
But like he said, it started as a welfare check.
Yeah.
And this is what got me. Right when she asked, "Are you okay? Do you want us to take you home?" He said no.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Right.
By the way, can you walk on the sidewalk? What did he do? He got my bad.
Sidewalk.
He went on the sidewalk.
I seen that.
It should have been dead right there.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have went where it went. But like he said, since they didn't like his attitude, their pride was hurt. Well, that's when it became an issue. And it just pisses me off.
Yeah.
Right, straight up.
Yeah.
And I think one thing we need to realize is it goes back to that influence we're talking about earlier. That's trauma, not just for that individual, but for us. Like you said, my child was crying. That's trauma. That's something even when we see these videos, week after week, day after day of people that look like us, that's trauma for us as well.
Mm-hmm.
I get anxiety just seeing it. Like now when I don't even watch those anymore most of the time, those videos, because just the trauma it causes within myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that kind of ties into that influence thing we're talking about. Like that's trauma not just for the person they have it to, but for black men in general. Just to see that all the time.
Yeah.
I agree. I do remember that story now that you guys are saying it. I just didn't know what you were talking about at first, but yeah, I seen the video and it's crazy, man. A lot of things, like you said, those videos, they take a turn quick. It's always, like you said, something simple as, where you going? Get on the sidewalk. Okay. Then it's something else. Then it moves on to something, and then it escalates until I think, they want to get what they want out of the situation. I don't know what they're trying to get, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, you don't have to like somebody's attitude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we all work 9 to 5s, or we all work jobs where people got attitudes. Mm-hmm. I can't shoot them. I can't kill them. I can't, I can't base what I'm doing off my emotions. No, you can't, Blue. I'm a DJ. I deal with drunk people on a lot of almost a nightly basis, and I gotta know how to handle that. If I couldn't handle that, then maybe I should go do something else. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta handle your situations right. Yeah. And being in that high of occupation like that, where you got, you get to carry firearms, you got the upper hand already. I think they need to have better screenings, getting the right people in these positions. You know what I'm saying? Better screenings, because man, I seen that you spend more time. I don't know if this is right, but I think somebody told me you spend more time in a classroom for truck driving than you do for being a police officer.
I saw this on TikTok.
Crazy.
And this girl, she said, it takes 2 years for me to apply makeup to somebody's face.
Crazy.
To be a makeup artist is what she was saying.
Yeah.
And the police academy 6 months.
It's crazy.
So
Yeah, it needs to be a little bit more.
something's
Definitely.
wrong with that.
Yeah, definitely something wrong with that. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So I think just having a better screening, better way of better recruitment operation, whatever you want to call it. I think that would probably help in a sense. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion.
The only thing I want to add is, because I agree with what everybody's saying. My issue at times is, what are we going to do to help ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm not saying that I'm never going to blame a black dude for being a victim, first and foremost. So let me put that out there.
Yeah.
But, I want us to also help ourselves. We're talking about what can the police do, or what can be done for the police. And I understand that. That's a conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah.
But I also want us to have a subsequent conversation and meaningfully say, what can we do to start helping ourselves? How are we going to help our kids? How are we going to help ourselves to get out of this perpetual cycle?
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's all on us,
Yeah.
because it's not.
Yeah.
We need help from everybody. But my concern is my kids, my family, y'all, everybody that I'm close to. So I kind of see it from a different angle. It's like, what are we going to do to better ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do to start making each generation safer? Get us out of poverty, start creating that generational wealth to where, we can start to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And again, because the hard part, and I hesitate to saying any of this, because, it's like, well, look at this Uncle Tom. Like, they're talking about all this stuff with the police, and then this dude is going to talk about what can black people do. Well, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, because we need to do stuff for ourselves just the same.
Yeah.
It's difficult, and I don't know, man. It's just, at some point, I feel like we need to just start moving forward, and I don't even know what to say anymore.
Yeah.
It's just,
I get what you.
I'll have to push back on that. So, I mean,
these two do this all the time. So let's go.
The thing is, I mean, I think there's a. To me, it's a false narrative that black people aren't helping themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Black people have been helping themselves for 400 years, in all aspects. I mean, when we weren't able to have certain jobs, we created our own jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even now, in terms of what we're doing as far as the police, I think it comes down to how much time he's spending in the black community. I'm in the black community every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I've been part of many mentorship programs for black males. I've been on, I don't know how many scholarship committees right now. I'm a board member for the African American Museum and Cultural Center of New Mexico. I've worked closely with Office of African American Affairs, African American Student Services. So black folks are out there doing the work. We're not just sitting here twiddling our thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a narrative I can't stand. Like, we're not just chilling.
But I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm not saying that you're not doing these things. That's why I hesitated to even bring it up, because, no matter how I say it, it's going to come out wrong.
Yeah.
And I appreciate all the things that Kyron does, and I'm aware of a lot of those things.
Yeah.
I
think it's meaningful, and I think it needs to happen. I just think it needs to happen more.
It does, but that's the thing. It's happening every day in every city, in every state. Is happening. That's what I'm saying. So for example, this past election, right? A lot of people were saying, well, the election was rigged. Where did all these votes come from in Atlanta?
Yeah.
How did Georgia turn blue? The reason why Georgia turned blue, it wasn't from rigged election. It was because people were on the ground in black communities. Stacey Abrams, the Black Male Voter Project were on the ground in black populations in Atlanta, galvanizing people to vote. Those black people went out and voted, and that's how Georgia turned blue.
Yeah.
So it's happening. You just got to be not on the outside looking in. It's happening everywhere, every day. We're not in every black community you go to in the United States. Is happening. if you look at every organization, I'm a member of Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. There are 9 historically black fraternities and sororities. We do work every day. There's other organizations, 100 Black Men of America. Look at your local churches, the NAACP. Other organizations, a lot of grassroots organizations are doing the work every day. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's not a matter of it happening more. It's people need to recognize it. It's happening every day.
And what you said, in efforts to turn that state back red, they have started trying legislation for voter suppression to try to get it back red.
So that's one thing. I can't stand that narrative that black people need to help themselves. We are helping ourselves. Mm-hmm. We've been helping ourselves for 400 years. I hate that narrative because it's false. It's false. It's a false narrative. I mean, and it's going to take a while to turn back systematic racism, right? So there's a thing called redlining, where that's where the Sticks neighborhood. Yeah, the Sticks is a result of systematic is a redlining. Same as the Kirk. Mm-hmm. Same as the East End Edition. Those are 3 historically black neighborhoods in Albuquerque. Yeah. The reason why they are historically black is because those are the only places black folks were allowed to live. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. I'm listening. It's happening. It's not a matter of it happening more. I just can't stand that narrative because black people are doing the work every single day, every day. I don't know where this narrative come from that black people are just kind of just like, oh well, I'm a victim. No, we're not victims. I mean, I get up. I'm in the black community every day.
No, but let me add to this is because there's a lot of black folks who do act like victims, and a lot of people just in general act like victims. Okay. And I'm not saying that the work isn't being done. It's, honestly, I don't know how to articulate what's going on in my mind. Yeah. Because it's gonna come out wrong.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing, man. Like, I feel like no matter what anyone says, it's always gonna be wrong to somebody.
Yeah, you can't please everybody.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so then my answer to that would be, what are you doing about it? Like, do your part.
See, okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I agree with you. But my concern, and I was telling Mike this a few months ago, is that I feel like I do my part in different ways. Mm-hmm. But my primary concern is my son and my daughter, and my daughters.
Yeah,
it's like I need to do what I need to do for them, and I'm trying to do it in a different way where I feel like, generationally speaking, getting them to a point where they're already ahead of the game. Mm-hmm. We kind of started from scratch in a lot of ways. And I'm not saying that, because we had the conversation about our parents and our families and all the things that they did for us. So I'm going to take that and push it forward. Mm-hmm. My kids are going to be prepared, like financially, educationally. I already started that. And I do help. I help kids, those who are close to me.
Yeah.
It's we all have our blessings. We all have our gifts. My gift isn't to affect everyone on this broad scale. My gift is to affect individuals. Mm-hmm. I recognize that. That's what I do at work. I had several folks who report to me this past review cycle tell me that I was the first person to actually care about them and actually try to develop them into whatever it is they wanted to be. That's one of my gifts. So I'm gonna take it on an individual level, and there's folks who can do it on a macro level. Kyron, you're one of those folks. You can do it on a macro level. That's not my gift. My gift is micro. I'm good with individuals. I'm good at helping individuals grow. So I seek out people who want to grow, and I try to help them.
And help them do that.
So it's just different. I'm not one to go out and protest. But, hey, you do you. I appreciate all the things that folks are doing to try to help people succeed. I'm going to try to help them differently. I'm an educator. Mm-hmm. I'm a mentor. That's just my personality. That's my gift.
Get them right financially and all that good stuff.
So, I learned how to manage money by watching people do it badly. And
Same
what
here.
do I watch? I watch black folks not learning how to manage money. We don't know how to manage money, generally speaking. We weren't taught how to do that.
Neither do white folks. White folks don't know how to manage money either, right?
No, but that's not my point, Kyron. My point is helping black people to learn to manage money. That's important. That's going to help generational wealth. And there are more white people who do know how to manage money.
Because they have access to that. That's another thing.
Well,
this is systemic, man.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's trying to help.
But
Again, on
I
a micro
understand
level,
that.
me trying to help.
And I understand that it's systemic. So instead of saying, black people need to do this and this, how about white people open the gates? How about white people?
That's true, bro.
Redistribute the resources.
Yeah, exactly. How about white folks? How about the establishment? Stop trying to have voter restriction. Access to loans. I'm saying it's not. That's not
create all these obstacles.
Black folks did not do that.
No, but go back to what I said previously. What I said was, yes, we need help from others. That's all I'm saying. It's both. That's why I wanted to bring up this side of the conversation. I'm not saying that we have to do it ourselves. I'm saying that we need to also recognize that it's both.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, and my point is, black people hold black people accountable. I mean, I think that's what you're trying to say is black people need to hold more. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like you're saying we need to hold each other more accountable. Again, that happens. That is going on. Mm-hmm. But no matter how it's twisted or turned, whatever, we can agree, disagree. I don't agree with this narrative that we need to help. Like, I'm going back to what you originally said. We need to help ourselves. We are helping ourselves. We've been helping ourselves.
Now,
that's that.
I mean, I agree with. I hear what both of you guys are saying. You guys are both saying some good things because I hear what you're saying. I hear what Brian's saying, but I think Brian's getting more into like you said, how you told will give us the opportunities and open the gates and this and that, and I think that's what he's saying. Like, okay, this is me talking. I'm not putting words in Brian's mouth or anything.
One point though.
Yeah.
But again, that has nothing to do with how police treat us.
No.
I mean, and you tie those two things together. We were talking about issues with police, and then you went into black people need to help themselves more. Those two are not one and the same. Like, police should treat us no different than they treat anybody else, and that goes with the notion that, okay, these are black people, they don't know what they're doing, so I'm gonna do X, Y, Z to them. There's two totally different issues there.
I don't think that they're different issues. I think it's all connected. I'm not saying that one has. I'm not saying that.
I feel like you're giving police a pass to do whatever because black people aren't taking care of ourselves.
See, no, I'm not even saying that, and that's why again I should just shut up because it's not going to work out.
That's not what I got out of what.
That's funny.
I'm not saying that, but this is all.
I want to hear. Yeah, go ahead, Lee. Let's hear.
I didn't get that out of what Brian was saying. I think because if you rewind to what he started out saying, he started talking about generational wealth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He kind of changed the subject off of the police and on to what he's doing for his family.
Yeah.
And you even said, well, if you feel like all blacks aren't doing whatever, well, what are you doing? Remember that conversation happening?
Yeah.
I think what Brian's saying is, I'm not doing what you're out there doing by marching, protesting, and stuff like that, but I'm providing for my family. I could be doing more for the community, but there's other black people too that aren't doing it too. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Not everybody's doing what they're doing.
Yeah, I think everybody has their own roles. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, because I remember having this conversation with Josh Jones. He's my cousin's husband, and he's like you. He's out there in the offices getting it done. Whatever. I'm not sure his exact occupation, but I know he's with them higher ups, and he's getting things done on that side of the fence. You know what I'm saying? So I've told him, bro, like, we had that conversation. He's like, oh, okay, this is what I do. I'm like, man, continue to do that. You know what I'm saying? And me, I feel like I have a sense of a voice to kind of bring a certain type of awareness. You know what I'm saying? To what's going on. I might be a DJ, I might, have this podcast or whatever, but look what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Look at the knowledge you dropped on this podcast. You know what I'm saying? I feel that's part of what I'm going to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you're doing what you do. And Brian does what he does on a like he said, the generational wealth. That's big. Because I didn't have nobody showing me what to invest my money. I barely started talking investments at this age. You know what I'm saying? I never thought about it to the age I am now, and I'm hitting people up like, "Oh, what's this investment?" Me and Rachel started investing, and it makes sense because we're setting up our kids for something we never had, and it goes back to what you said about white people are bad with money too. Yeah, they are, but how many white folks can blow it and be like, "Daddy, I need some more"?
That's white privilege.
And that's what I'm saying. Generational wealth. So why can't we have that? You know what I'm saying? Why can't we be? I
totally agree.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I see what both of you guys are saying because I would love my kids to be like, "Daddy, can I have that?" And fuck up and to be like, "Daddy, can?" Yeah, but this time you're gonna invest this. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have that. If once we have what we have, whatever we do with it, that's pretty much it. Whether it goes slow or whether it goes fast. That's it for us. You know what I'm saying? We don't have daddy to be like, give me this, give me that, and this, that, and third. So like I said, both of y'all are making sense to me. Yeah. To me, it's just that both of you guys are doing things on the opposite spectrum, and I think that's where y'all are different. You know what I'm saying?
I guess I'm just confused about. I mean, the comment. Black people need to help themselves.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't think those are.
I don't think he meant those. Oh, go ahead.
Again, it's always going to come out bad.
Yeah.
That's my fault for expressing it that way. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is I'm going to take personal responsibility for what happens to me and my family. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do what I can to positively influence other black folks. Not just black folks. I'm going to do what I can to positively influence the world, period. That's me, and that's how I'm going to approach it.
And nothing wrong with that to me.
I get it. I need stuff from everyone. I need y'all in my life. Everyone needs help. And that's what I'm saying. I tried to start off by saying we need, as black people, we need everyone else to help contribute for our own advancement. But I'm going to approach it first and foremost from an individual level and take personal responsibility to try to move forward.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
And I think that's something that resonates in the entire black community. Black people take personal responsibility to do what they need to do. That's the bottom line.
I think that's how you should have said it. Right there.
Well, he got it out. Hey, he got out what it. He said it right the second time. He got out what he wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I agree. I hear what both of you guys are saying. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a good on both ends. Good on both ends. I don't know if you had something to add on that, Blue. Or you good?
Honestly, I don't think protesting, being financially stable, whatever, is going to work. Mm-hmm. I think it all starts in politics. Mm-hmm. Those are the people that makes the laws that can make the change. So we can protest all we want to, but until we get the right politicians in there, it's always going to be systematic racism.
So you don't see
that's just me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
We can protest. We've been protesting for years. This person got shot. Protest. This person got killed. Protest. It's the same thing. They don't care. As long as it's that. Why do you think it must be a peaceful protest?
Yeah.
It can't be violent.
Yeah.
It gives them an excuse to do what they got to do to us. If it's peaceful, they don't care. It's peaceful.
Yeah.
So until they're politically, we all go out there and get the right politicians in the office to make the laws.
Yeah.
That's where the change is going to come.
The right politicians got to run. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what a right politician is. They're all the same to me. Because
I do agree. They're all the same. Like, I didn't want Biden, but the only two that stand out in my mind is AOC and Bernie Sanders. Those are the only ones that want to flip up the whole government and say, let's start over and do it like this. Those are the only two. Everybody else is stuck on. Democrats and Republicans stuck on. I'm running for Democrats, but in the back, I'm owned by these companies.
Yeah.
Both parties.
Yeah.
So it's
agreed.
Those are the only two, like I said, that come to me that sound like legit in what they say. That's why Bernie didn't get the nomination, because he wanted to flip up.
Bernie was in the trenches. I seen those old school pictures. And Bernie been through it for the cause, man. He's been through it. So I was tripping out because I didn't know that, and I seen them pictures pop up, and man, I was like, That's dope, man. I didn't know that. I wish we could have. Yeah, I wish we could have had him, man, and got that. But like you said, I wasn't really, Biden's in there, whatever. But I ain't really checking for him either. So it is what it is. And anybody who knows me know I don't do politics anyway. It's not my thing. I'm on real life experiences, what I've been through. So I didn't like nobody coming at me talking about Biden was gonna raise taxes and this and that, and you got people dying by police and kids out of borders and cages, and let's talk about that real stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? But everybody want to throw statistics and numbers, and yeah, that's good, but what's really going on? And that was my whole thing about that whole situation. So y'all already know I don't do politics really. So
go ahead and pass on the politics. So I got myself into already.
But that's good conversation, and I appreciate y'all, man. Make some noise for that, man. So yeah, I don't know if y'all had anything else to add. I think that was a good little convo, man. Yeah, I'm good. I don't know if y'all had anything to add or y'all wanted to discuss on here, but I think that was good for me, man.
No, I'm straight.
I would say I have an article coming out.
Okay, there we go.
Newsletter.
Let it plug it.
African American Museum and Culture Center of Mexico. I just did I did all my research is original. I just did some research on individual named J. Moses Griffin. I'm not gonna go through it. Just read the article. It's gonna be dropping pretty soon.
Make some noise. Yeah.
And I would say, love y'all.
Oh yeah, it's always love, man. Like I said, 25 plus. We said, dang.
Yeah, maybe another time we can go into actual stories.
I mean, I would have liked that. I would have liked that, but Prince and Suge over here.
I'm talking about stories. Is what?
I know, but Prince and Suge over here to my right. I don't know what they want to discuss. You know what I'm saying?
I was doing celebrity crushes.
Oh man, okay. We gonna have to. Yeah, we gonna have to do that. Save that for another one. But right. I don't know.
Oh no.
See. That's what I don't know.
Just saying.
I don't know.
I was ready
Let
for
some
that.
of this go.
But Blue brought up a good point. Celebrity crushes real quick.
I don't have.
Name one.
We got time?
Name one. Oh, no. We ain't you sit through your perverted list. I said name one.
One?
Let's hear it.
I'm going to name two.
Okay.
Lala Anthony and Lauren London.
She came up. No?
I don't like
Brian, don't be. God dang. Hey, Brian.
Wait, my
You don't like Lala?
She don't do it for me.
So let me
head at the question. That's
let me preface this real quick.
Okay.
So, we're discussing women.
Crushes.
Yeah. So, to be mindful of,
see, I ain't got time. No, I know everybody's trying to be PC, but no.
Man.
But what I was gonna say though, like, I don't know who the people are. I don't have any crushes.
No.
All y'all are married.
I like Ava Mendez.
Ava Mendez. Ooh, don't.
Ava.
Okay.
Ava.
Is that
from Hitch?
With the little mole.
Yeah. Okay.
Training Day.
Okay. Yeah.
I like Keisha Cole. That's my woman.
Keisha Cole? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Make some noise. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all. Right? Eva Mendez though. Is it Eva or Ava? Ava. The Mendez lady. Yeah. I was thinking about this. I used to have one on Jennifer Aniston, but yeah, kind.
She's fine.
Yeah. Back in the day, friends. Rachel. Come on. Yep. Yeah, come on.
Shit, I like Margot Robbie too.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jennifer Aniston was mine for the longest time. Now I don't know, man. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't got one now, I guess.
I don't have any.
Getting old, I guess. Jennifer Aniston was it. Maybe Rihanna.
Yeah.
She was looking good. No.
I like Rihanna.
Yeah, she cool.
That's Britney's.
That's
what Britney's is. I don't really like her.
Hey man, but I
don't know.
But to add to this, I see plenty of podcasts television show, talk shows. All these women on there talking about men they want to date.
Oh, what's her name? Got a crazy one.
If they want equality like they want, if we're all supposed to be equal, male and female, we should be able to talk about who we have a crush on.
That's why I asked the
question.
You know
what I mean? It's just a crush. Like,
that's why I asked the question. If they, like I say, if they don't like it, they ain't gotta watch it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta watch it. It's all good. But
you over here trying to be like I'm trying to offend somebody.
I'm a pass. I'm a pass on the topic.
Prince is passing.
This is an inappropriate topic for me to discuss.
Oh my God, Krista would understand. All right, this is what I'm doing. I'm bringing Krista back on the podcast, and I'm gonna ask her celebrity crush. When she puts that in your face, I'm a laugh.
Why she be like Prince?
But yeah, oh man, appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, y'all definitely gonna come back and do this again. And maybe lighten up a little bit.
I enjoyed it.
No, Blue, yeah. I'm talking about. But man, yeah, we're gonna have to have a whole different segment and conversation about this stuff. But I appreciate y'all coming through, and like Karen said, I love you guys, man. And you know, I just wish more success for all you guys and whatever you guys do. And man, let's continue to do what we're doing. Be successful, young. I consider ourselves young still. Youngish. Youngish.
I like that.
Youngish black men. You know what I'm saying? And let's continue to do that. You feel me? So appreciate y'all coming through, man. If y'all want to add anything, y'all good? Or we
still for the wood?
Still, do it for the wood. Let's go. All right. Make some Yo, appreciate everybody who tuned in, man. We are out.